Had I not reviewed the Doctor Who TV movie earlier in 2018 and done a pretty bad job of it, sorry everyone, it would be included here as Paul McGann's only televised outing as the Doctor. Yes, it is built on incredibly shaky ground and later convinced people the show would never return, but it's also one of the classic Doctor Who's I've seen far too many times. The DVD I had was rated 15s, so that's even more strange, but it was always going to have a rough time in getting to the screen. This is detailed on the special edition and Blu-ray of it. Before it was due to be transmitted, Jon Pertwee died, so a dark cloud was already over the head of the episode, and when originally shown on TV it was dedicated to Mr. Pertwee. So for 9 years Doctor Who was gone. It had its day and it wasn't coming back, but number 8 got a new lease of life under Big Finish, and is still going with them now, and the books and Doctor Who magazine comics carried them beyond 1996 too. But how did it end? When Doctor Who came back, we assumed he turned into Christopher Eccleston in the closing moments of the last Great Time War, maybe shot by a Dalek before hastily leaving Gallifrey. But Stephen Moffat thought differently, and come the 50th anniversary year, he created the War Doctor, played by the incredible Sir John Hurt. He assumed the Christopher Eccleston role when the latter decided he wasn't going to do it, and in the run-up to the Day of the Doctor, 2 mini-episodes came about. One called The Last Day, which is a POV demo that isn't all that important, and the true prequel to The Day, The Night of the Doctor. This was spoiled a bit for me, but I assumed they used some CGI thing to have him in it. So when the true Paul McGann appears behind Cass after a beautifully wonky shot of her spaceship crashing, with the most perfect line to open a precious 6 minutes of the one-off Doctor, my eyes lit up and I knew this was going to be good. And so it begins. I don't know if it's a rights issue or not, but I wish they would have used either the TV movie theme, or if you loved the early work, David Arnold's one. Could have even used the font. I know Clayton Hickman would get a kick out of it, and the designer in me as well. And this is a huge nitpick, but the wrong TARDIS is used in that effects shot. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. But that's about it. Now the Doctor, in his fleeting life, immediately messes with your expectations. Oh, new companion? No, Time Lords are bastards, so go fuck yourself, Doctor. Blaze of Glory? No, he dies crashing into Karn with Cass. Very messy, very pathetic. What you gonna do? And Karn is a great setting for the webisode. I've always loved the brain of Morbius, and if you look into it one way, you could see it as an appropriate setting, because the last time the Doctor was there, the number of incarnations was put into question, and I know loads of people passionately deny that and say they were Morbius. I used to as well, but it's obvious what they were implying back then, and I'd like it to remain unresolved personally. So the Doctor comes back for 4 minutes, which in real time is how long the episode has left, and is persuaded by Claire Higgins, who you might remember from Hellraiser and Hellbound Hellraiser 2, to take part in the war with potions that can turn him into a wise or angry man or woman. There's an argument against this. Is it more impactful to have such an energetic and optimistic Doctor be the one to go on this horrible, unimaginable crusade to end the last Great Time War? I might have believed that. However, the side for this is that if you are versed in Big Finish, then you'll know it's not in McGann's character, and he's put up with so much dramatic shit. I think it makes sense to have the Doctor's path to end the conflict for the sake of all creation. How very operatic. Begin with his renunciation of the title, like there's no more use for him. And if you're going to read even deeper into it, you could interpret that as reflecting how there was no Doctor Who in the 90s and early 2000s. That time when Doctor Who viewed it that way. They saw the episode as telling the entire history of the programme, with McGann's regeneration into Hurt representing the daring and bold revival of the universe. Too much credit? Who am I to say? If that was the idea, then fair play, Moff. I can definitely see the opening line reflecting George Lazenby's James Bond being intentional, though. The difference between both iterations, however, is that audiences liked Paul McGann as the Doctor. Willa Hurt seems to have been deliberate as well. I felt it was referencing Death of the Doctor, which established regeneration being painful. Before McGann goes, who incidentally is doing really well, he makes sure Big Finish counts, and hopefully encourages new fans to listen to them. Good luck to them, though. His famous last words are, "Physician, heal thyself." Awesome. And off-screen he regenerates into Hurt the Younger. 5 years later, I'm still very impressed by how they utilised a foe of the young John Hurt. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, and you only get a quick blurry glimpse. Doctor no more, and then it ends. Maybe it could have used a new score. Murray Gold might have been busy with the proms or something else, but I don't mind hearing his music, old or new. For a brief time he was here, and for a brief time he marred. Paul McGann got material worthy of his calibre, and although still playing the part, it's a dignified farewell. Great use of Easter eggs, subtle and obvious. The only way it could have been more glorious is having it play before Day of the Doctor. It's included in the novelisation, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's a mess. The Night of the Doctor accomplishes so much, I give it a 9 out of 10 for giving the eighth face of Doctor Who his time to be magnificent.